Hey everyone, Steve here back on the SoCal N scale layout. It's been about a couple weeks now since we had a layout update, and this is layout update number 4, so stick around and I'll show you guys what's been going on the layout. Alright, so in the last update we had track down and trains operational from Sullivan's Curve there, the west side of it, or the left side in the camera. We had trains running down main 1 or main 2 down through the hidden reversing loop and back up main 1 and 2, and that's about as far as we had trains running. We had track powered by one set of feeders, and we had trains that would run from about here all the way down and then back up to about here on this side. So got a little bit more track done. We've got main 1 and 2 pushing on through Cajon. This is Cajon. You can see the wooden ties for the crossovers and some of the wooden track throughout. Then we go back to concrete, and we'll make the turn down to blue cut. So that's the track we've got laid down so far. We don't have main 3 yet, and we don't have the UPSP Highline behind because we don't have the concrete microengineering flex track in stock yet. I still have some. I have probably enough to get down to the Helix, but that's about it. So I haven't started laying track on main 3 and UP line just yet. I went ahead and left the wooden ties in between the crossovers at main 1 and 2, and I think it kind of looks good. It looks like it does in real life, but that's I think what, about seven turnouts there, 7 turnouts we have in there for crossovers at Cajon. So main 1 and 2 are done, and then we have the other crossovers ready to go over to main 3 once we get that far. So we've also got the sub road bed behind for the UP Highline done. As you can see, it is elevated, so it, just like in the real thing, it would be higher up than the Bnsf mains. So I don't think that was done last time either. So, but yeah, a little bit of track, a little bit more track done. And so the reason we don't have as much track done as I wanted to have done is because we've been doing a lot of wiring. Last time, like I said, we just had one set of feeders powering everything. Well, as you can see now, we've got a bus in, a main bus, and we've got our power station moved, our DCC station moved. Before it was under Sullivan's Curve or around the 138 in that area on the upper level. Now it's down to blue cut, and eventually it will make its way. I'll move it to around the Helix. So, but we do have wiring going in. All the feeders now are hooked up to the bus or sub bus in some cases. We've got terminal blocks in, and we've got resistors for detection when we get there. I will be using RR circuits resistors for their Watchman. Bought some of those a while back, and I haven't had a chance to try them yet, so I will give them a shot and see if I like them. If not, I can always go back to Digitrax. Digitrax seems to work, but so far with everything I've got, but I already had these RR Circuits products, so I'd like to give them a shot and see how they work. As you can see, the wiring is starting to take over the layout. And there's a pretty intense set of wires right there for, I believe that's the main 1 and 2 through Sullivan's Curve. That's where all the blocks. And as you can see here, I am making the layout also so it can be taken apart relatively easy. So these just come apart. The gap masters, the track will separate once the track is cut, and the sections are just held together by bolts throughout, and then the terminal boards just have wires that you can easily disconnect between both sides, and trying to make this layout as mover friendly as possible in the event we ever have to move. So that was a mistake that I made on the last layout, and I'm trying to avoid that on this layout. So every few, about every 6 or 7 feet, or however big these sections are, is able to be taken apart, and the track, the bench work, all that would come apart at the same point, the wiring. So here's the auto reverser I installed. This is one of several that will end up on the layout. This one is actually powering all the wooden ties here on main 1 and 2. So as Bnsf trains come down main 1 and make their way down the hidden reversing loop and then back up main 2, all this area in wooden ties is controlled by that auto reverser. So as the trains go from main 1 and back up to main 2, the auto reverser just changes that polarity. So as the trains cross to the concrete ties, we don't have a short, and trains just continue to run. So very easy to install. I did it in a few minutes, and I don't have a lot of experience with DCC products other than basic DC, so it was very easy. Anyone can do it. We've also got this area of sub road bed done. So this section now that's installed, I can take it out. It's not permanent just yet because I don't want to make it permanent until I'm ready to lay the track. So I can take it out if for some reason I need to get in there. But as you can see, this is where main 3 would pass under the 15, would run about here. A scenery break for the Highway 15. It would pass behind the 15, and then it would become the UP SP Highline in the back, running back down the pass. And the same with main 1 and 2. They would come to about where the wooden ties are, and that's about where the 15 scenery break would be. They would go down behind the hidden reversing loop, come back up, and it'd be like a new train coming out. So down the pass. So kind of gives you an idea on how this end is looking, and how the rest of the layout is looking. Sorry if it's bouncing a little bit. I'm walking blind with my iPad in front of me. But yeah, we've got a lot of wiring done. All the wiring works. It's been checked. I've been running trains back and forth. Can't run them in a complete loop just yet, but we're getting there. And I'll show you guys here before the end of the video too. Alright, we also installed this last piece of bench work right here, the one that's got the clamp on. Hopefully that's my last piece of bench work other than whatever I have to fabricate to install on the Helix. So here as the trains start to turn blue cut, they'll start to make their way down the pass from Blue Cut down to about Keenbrook. This is where Keenbrook would be, and then from there they would make their way into the Helix and come down several turns before ending up where that cardboard is, and that would be Devore, and onto the lower level yard and staging, which you can see is not a yard or staging right now. It's a staging for all my supplies and material that I've been using to build the layout. But hopefully that gives a bit of an idea on how this side of the layout is going to operate. These are just 1x2s, I think. 1x2s that I bolted to the existing frame, reinforced them, glued them, and then I've made these brackets underneath to actually support the sub road bed. So far it seems to be okay. put some paint cans on, some weight on them, just to see how they would hold up, and they seem to be holding up all right. These are actually glued and screwed in, and I'll probably put some, some braces across up between these members, just and at the top, just to reinforce. But eventually that'll be the it'll also be the where I put my partition or backdrops to divide the layout, I guess. And so one other thing I kind of need to change on my track plan is, so before I would have probably four lines coming down here through DeVore, when realistically there's only 3 on the Bnsf. So what I was thinking about was, I have this unused area right here that would be under Keenbrook, and if I have nice fascia up here, and this is kind of like a little open area underneath it that I can maybe have another line. What I was thinking about doing was the 3 lines continue on to the Bnsf off the Helix line, and then this UP line would come on this side of the partition underneath and would kind of have its own line going around and then back to main 3 again. So just something I've been playing around with as I go. As we go, we make some changes. First drawing, first track plan doesn't always work out as planned, so but yeah, it's coming along pretty good, I think. So I hope you guys enjoy the update. I know it's not a whole lot more than last time, but it is it's been a lot of work getting here. And all of this we've done in about 3 months. I believe we broke ground on this layout September 22nd, and it's now December 27th, so just a little over 3 months. So got a long way to go too. So thanks for riding along with us, and let me show you guys this train moving throughout the layout. Alright, this is Bnsf 727 with a short manifest, making its way up main 1 on the Cajon Pass. And I don't have the turnout controllers or switch machines or servos installed yet. I've got holes drilled for them, but I haven't put them in just yet. I have some tortoise switch machines, but William Arsenault, he kind of put the TAM Valley Depot servo idea in my head, and I've been doing some research on those, and they seem to be a pretty cool product and very small. So I'm thinking that maybe I will use those definitely on the upper level, and if I like them, maybe even on the lower level. So I think I have a 12-pack of tortoise switch machines, so I'm thinking about using those maybe down on the lower level where they're not so visible underneath. So, but yeah, the train's just come out of Sullivan's Curve, and it's making its way towards the 15 on main 1. And I'll try to get over there so you guys can hear the auto reverser as it... Sorry, I'm kicking stuff as I walk around my... I don't know if it'll trip the auto reverser this time he comes by or when he goes back up. There he goes. So you'll hear it, and then you'll also sometimes you'll see a little spark under the wheel flanges. But yeah, this right now he would be going down the behind the 15, and he wouldn't be visible anymore once our scenery's done. Hey, this is just a short train I put together with a little bit of length, not too much, a little bit of length, a couple auto racks for the curves, and an intermodal for the height to make sure that everything I'm putting in, it's clearing. And right now it's passing under Sullivan's curve in what would be the hidden reversing loop still. This was probably the most time-consuming part of the build, was all this bench work going in this corner, all the sub-road bed, and you know, getting it just to fit right, those risers. But definitely worth it. Train's making its way back up now, main 2. So if I didn't have that auto reverser in, for anyone who doesn't know how one of those works, my DCC polarities would be backwards, so my red line would become my white line, and I'd have a short. Or my common line would become my hot line. However you want to, whatever you want to call it, the lines would be crossed there at the, where the track meets the wooden ties meet the concrete ties. So that auto reverser just senses it and automatically changes it. So it's a really neat tool. Train's coming back towards Sullivan's curve. So this is at 6 minutes already right now. And just to give you guys an idea, my old layout used to go around the entire thing with less than 6 minutes. And this is just one part of this layout. We haven't even got down to Keenrook, to the Helix, and around the lower level. So sorry for the shakiness on the iPad. I gotta start making my way down to this throttle down here. I don't have the wireless. I'm not that high tech yet. But yeah, it's yeah, so runs pretty good. And it's wired pretty good. So we didn't have any issues coming around. That was about 7 minutes, 30 seconds. So pretty good little run. And hopefully on the next one we'll have a little bit more. So, but anyway, thanks for stopping in. Hope you guys enjoyed the update, and we'll try to get some more done for the next one. All right, take care, and we'll see you guys soon. And Happy New Year to everyone. This will probably be the last video of 2018 for us. So hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and had a great 2018, and have a good 2019. Take care.